Football team, the way they played and competed, physical football game, but the resiliency, the ability to continue to just play the next play. Really proud of that. A lot of really positive things, some things that we got to clean up before we get to this week in Tuscaloosa. Really good football team that we're playing. They're playing well all three phases of the football game. Their quarterback's playing extremely well, been accurate with football down the field. Obviously, he's extremely dynamic with his feet as well. Defensively, they're creating a bunch of negative plays, hitting the quarterback sacks and tackles for loss. And special teams are really good. So huge test for us, one that we'll be excited for, and got to focus on our preparation here this week. So open it up.
Coach, you mentioned the physicality you guys played with. When you flipped on the tape, just what jumped out about your offensive line, and kind of what kind of statement does it make to have that sort of success against what was the best run defense in the SEC before Saturday?
They played extremely physical. I thought they did a really good job with everything that was going on from the perspective of what we're seeing defensively from them. The communication was elite. Coop did a great job getting everybody on the same page. Our running backs were really solid with the football, pressing their aiming points. Bouncing when they need to. They made some plays, but running tough too. Moving the pile during the course of the ball game too. Initial contact might have been at 3, 4, 5, and finding a way to eke out more yards there and turn third down into a short yard situation and or getting a first down on some of those runs. So all in all, really good performance from those guys, offensive line, tight ends, and the running backs.
You talked about the importance of crowd noise the past 2 weeks, now going on the road in a hostile environment. What did you guys learn from that Florida game that maybe can help you this week?
Yeah, end of the day, we got to do a great job of communicating. You got to focus on your job and be dialed into that. It's 11 on 11 when you're inside the line. So, we've continued to work that. Believe we'll be ready for it when we hit game day.
As Milton and his receivers continue to build that connection, what would you say is the biggest contributor as to why we haven't seen more production from them at this point in the season?
There's a few things fundamentally that Joe did that caused a couple passes to be a little bit off target. There's a couple catches that we got to make. End of the day, we got to continue to grow that way. Do have great belief in our guys and where we can get to.
Coach, you said after the game you hadn't been a part of one like that in terms of scoring. When you get into a game like that, from a head coach managing standpoint, how different is that? Was there things that when you rewatched from a management standpoint that you have to call and do a game differently in that style versus the shootout style that typically your offense is a part of?
Yeah, you second guessing some of my calls or what?
Oh, I'm asking if you got to make some. You second guess some of your calls post game.
Listen, each game, you hear me say it. Each Saturday, essentially, is a new season. Each game unfolds, and the identity of the game takes place during the course of the game. You got to manage all those situations. From play calls to what decisions you're making in special teams, all of it, and so. Proud that we got to win and you continually evaluate what you're doing in all areas and then also try to push those lessons forward too.
Coach, with the transition from Coach Ghost last year, now Coach Halsley, and you guys have always talked about, play calling and the game plan is all communal with everybody involved in it. How's that operation gone? What can you tell us about how the operation is going?
Really pretty seamless. The transition, Joey's been with me since 2006, we've been together in some form or fashion, except for a couple of years. So the communication from up top, what we're seeing, what we're doing, the adjustments that we make from drive to drive based on defensive structure really hasn't changed much at all.
Josh, how fun was it to flip on the tape of the defense and watch your defensive line play some physical football?
Man, just really proud of the effort. All 11 that were out there on the football field, up front, front 6, front 7, and in particular our front 4 just played really good football, man. They came off the ball. They were destructive in the run game, guys snagging off and making plays on backdoor cuts, playing with gap integrity. Second level fit it extremely well. And then the ability to get after the quarterback, with just a front 4 rush too. Thought those guys did a really good job of changing the way the game's played. I feel like they are continuing to improve as we go through this season. Proud of the effort. We're going to need a great one from them this Saturday too.
Coach, Ramel made a lot of plays for you guys last season, stepping up. He's had some plays that he probably would like to have back this season.
Yeah.
Another one on Saturday. How do you guys get him going a little bit and make sure that some of the plays that he's missed don't become mental?
Yeah, in this game, there's a really fine line, and I say that, and until you watch the tape and truly understand everything that's going on, I think it's tough to truly understand. Last Saturday, this coming Saturday, the Saturday after, you got to do the ordinary things at an extremely high level, and that just happens through your preparation and your practice. And you got to wipe the previous one clean. You got to take the lessons forward with you, but you got to wipe it clean, good or bad. And you guys have heard me say that before. So Ramel's played really well, and got great trust that he'll play extremely well this Saturday.
On the passing game, obviously the explosive plays weren't there the other day. Is there a personnel issue? Do you feel like you have the right personnel to have that explosive passing game the rest of the year?
Absolutely. We've had guys open. We haven't hit them. Communication's been off at times. We just got to be a little bit better. It wasn't pretty on Saturday. I'll be the first to admit that. But it's not that far off either. We got to do ordinary things at a really high level.
Bryce Eason continues to really come on and play really consistent football for you all. Was there a moment in time that you noticed where he kind of seemed to morph, maybe mentally, maybe the light bulb came on a little bit more to where the consistency was all of a sudden there?
Well, I do think there's been consistent, constant growth from him throughout our time here with him. I do feel like, late training camp, early part of the season, the consistency of his mindset, being able to attack every rep every single day, has changed and continued to mature. And that's why he's playing the way that he is. He's become a really good practice player. You can count on him being consistent every single day. That's led to his growth and him playing the way that he is inside.
Alabama's a team that gets after the quarterback at a really high level. What are some things that you guys can do offensively to try to slow that down, keep your quarterback clean?
Yeah, I'm going to say this, and it's kind of on repeat from last week too. You got to have some efficiency in the run game. You get into long yardage situation, these guys are going to be able to pin their ears back and come after the quarterback. They're multiple in what they do. All five guys got to operate together in the run game, but you got to be in sync in your pass protections too. And you got to get the ball out on time. There's going to be a bunch of one-on-one matchups out on the outside. You got to go win some of those matchups and be accurate with the football. So it's going to take all 11. They all play a piece in what goes on in the run game and in the pass game too.
Josh, heading into the season, obviously you never know exactly what's going to happen, but when you looked at that running back room and you looked at what you had up front, did you suspect that the running game could be this sort of consistent and could be this deep and this sort of versatile?
Yeah, I mean, in this game, it changes from year to year, and sometimes week to week too. And I did think that we had a chance to be a very mature physical football team up front. The three running backs that you alluded to, all were playing their best football. They had the best understanding of what our schemes were. Fundamentally, they were at their best. I thought they had a chance. They had a chance to be a group that would do a really good job in the run game and at the line of scrimmage. So you guys know this. People have gotten caught up in the pass game numbers at times with us, some of the explosive plays, but the bread and butter of what we do, it all starts with the run game.
Over here in the back, James Pierce Jr., D. Williams earning Player of the Week honors for the SEC. How does that make you feel, and how can you talk about their performance?
Yeah,
this
excited
past Saturday?
for both of those guys because they continue to grow in how they prepare. They continue to grow in their understanding of what we're doing and are playing their best football right now. Two guys that continue to just invest and grow, and that's why they're playing the way that they are. Extremely proud of those guys.
How similar would you say that the quarterback and cornerback positions are as far as the praise and criticism they get and the kind of thick skin that they need at that position?
Quarterback and corner? Yeah. Everybody notices when it's not right, for sure. And you make some plays, everybody notices that too. So the further you get away from the ball, the more obvious it is, what plays you made and what you didn't make.
When you look at Jalen Milroe on tape studying Alabama, when is he at his best? What situations for him is when he thrives?
He's made a bunch of plays from inside of the pocket, pushing the football down the football field. His ability, if you don't have rush integrity to get out and make plays with his feet, is something that pops out on the tape. And then he obviously, like when the ball's in his hands and he's a part of the run game, he's dynamic. So he's somebody that you got to have bottled up, every snap. He's a dynamic playmaker.
Didn't see Omar Norman Lott or David Hobbs. Any status updates on those guys, and also Mincy?
Yeah, I believe all those guys will be ready as we go through this week. Anticipate those guys being ready to go. Yeah.
Joe's a pretty confident guy. Did not play his best game the other night. How is his confidence now? Do you feel like you need to boost him up at all, or does he need any of that?
I mean, I think, when you don't play your best football, you got to be able to wipe it clean. When you play your best football, you got to be able to wipe it clean too. And at the end of the day, have a routine that takes you to kickoff so that you are putting yourself in a consistent position to go play your best. Joe's been really mature in how he has prepared. There's some things fundamentally that he's done really well that he didn't do in the last one. We got to be a little bit better in the pass game. That's him. That's the wideouts. It's everybody. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it. You guys have a great day.